Did you just hit your elbow? We are live with another tier list, and it's your army.
Yes, and my army is the one that's 10 minutes late. Thank you. No, I'm just joking.
So, Northern Knights Gaming, we're back with another tier list ranking. We're trying to keep these weekly. We might change it up later on with like best units, and sorry, not best units, but best like detachments, and we'll do other tier list stuff later. But right now we have some like good armies we want to talk about, some new things coming out. Space Marines coming out this week, of course. You played really well with this in the last two tournaments. You almost went 4-0 in the last tournament, RTT. You lost by, we said in one of our live streams, you lost by a couple points. What do you think overall of Adeptus Mechanicus?
With all the nerfs that everyone else has got, Admech has just shimmied its way slowly up to like a midpoint.
Yeah.
If you look at stat check right now, we're at 48% win rate, which is very formidable. But we have very few games. So whoever, the 10 players of Admech in the world, me being like 4 of them, we are doing fantastic. No, I'm just joking. There's a lot of players right now in the world playing Admech, and we are really forcing it down people that it's the cog that's the best.
Yeah.
Right now, they have only a couple of good units. You'll see like in this list.
Yeah.
Of course, if you played against Admech or play Admech, you know what units they are.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to keep this tier list more of, in case these top units that are going to be in tournament standard are not available, what will be my second best choice and third best choice.
Exactly.
So tournament standard is just going to be what's really good right now. Strong is going to be units that are very powerful that if, for example, anything in tournament standard cannot be taken or somehow get nerfed in the upcoming patches, they'll be like moving up.
Can we just call it just in standard?
Yeah, just in standard. Situational is, of course, units that have a niche to fill, but of course are done better by units in strong. Bad choice really don't have a place in the codex simply because of patching issues or like no synergy. And don't take is legit. Why take it? They're in the scrap bin for now, bargain bin if you want to have them for later.
Yeah.
It's always good to have the models, of course, because your models are always yours.
Always yours. Let me pull this up. Let's get started. Is it in order? Anthony?
It's in order.
Mostly in order. So we're going to go just through the, let's go through the list. Let's start with the birds.
Yep, and we all know where, the first one is going to be the Fusilave.
Yeah.
This one is the bomber variant. 155 points for a toughness 9, 10 wound model with 3-up save. No invuln, unfortunately, even though it's a bird. Quick question. Do they still get -1 hit if they're flying? If they're like in jet mode?
Is it ability? Yeah.
I don't think they come with it.
No, it doesn't.
So that really hampers its survivability. You are paying a very big premium to have this come on turn 2, or if you want to hover. When it flies over a unit, afterwards it deals, you roll 6 dice, and on a 3+, it does a mortal wound.
Right.
And it also has like 18 heavy stubber shots if you're within 36. I don't think any of the flyers in this list are actually any good.
Yeah.
The one that might be useful might be the Stratoraptor, which I'll cover the second one.
Yeah.
But in terms of 155 points for a bomber that really doesn't do much and it's really easy to kill, I think it's going to be like everywhere else. It's going to be a don't take.
Don't take. Right off the way. What happened?
The mouse
To the right? Why? Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. I know.
Tournament standard.
Tournament standard. Okay, no. So don't take?
I believe these are don't
off
take.
The back. Okay.
Way too expensive, way too squishy. If you want to use them as a flyer, they have to come in turn 2. And you only are going to have 3 turns to bomb at that. 3 turns to bomb at that point.
Okay.
If you keep it on the table as a hover unit, you're going to be shot to pieces because this thing is very fragile.
This is the Fusilave, right?
Yeah, and it is way too expensive for its durability. One thing you're going to notice, I'm going to say off the bat, durability is the thing for Admech right now. You want durability, you want especially utility on them.
Yeah.
These guys are way too expensive, and dealing mortal wounds, you don't really need.
And you're getting 6 on a 3-up, so 50-50 chance, but is it worth it for, how many points does these
155.
guys? I don't know. They're not that bad. You know my stance on flyers. I'm not a huge fan of flyers right now, and I think you're right. I think it's a don't take, especially when you see what else this army has, like we always say.
Yeah, it's
comparing to other units. Yeah, I agree.
For example, if something happens tomorrow where the whole Admech Codex flips, unless they really give this thing a big points decrease and maybe make it the mortal wounds thing a little bit easier to do, it would be like serviceable. But right now, in which you come in turn 2 and you have to stand still, only firing stubbers, 3, 4, 5 if you're actually zooming in to deal bombing runs, I don't think dealing like 10 mortal wounds in a whole entire game for 155 points with stubbers is really worth it. But I mean, if you think the flyers are good, I do have myself the Bomber and the Stratoraptor myself.
Yeah.
Because 9th edition, they were really cool. I even took them after they got nerfed. But I don't think they're in a really good position right now. We leave them at the roost right now. Put them in the bird cage.
Okay, they're in the bird cage. Anthony, can you move that monitor over there up for me a little bit? If you can. Thank you, sir. So from here to here, there we go. Much better.
Camera stuff, if you can see it.
Yeah, we're starting up with more angles here for you guys. But okay, on to the next flyer.
This one is not as bad. This one's
the Stratoraptor. Yeah.
Comes with twin link blast cannon.
It does.
Twin Cognus blast cannon. So a sustain hits 1 if it does hit on 6. And it's also twin linked.
Yep.
It comes with 2 phosphorus guns, which just ignore cover with like AP -2, I think, 1 damage, which is not that great. And it just comes with a lot of stubber shots.
Yep.
I believe this thing is around 160 something points.
160?
165. It's not that great. Once again, it's too expensive. Stubbers you can get everywhere else.
Yep.
This thing is, you're putting a lot of points into something that's really just flimsy. It does have a cool ability where if it does shoot at something that's on the ground, that's not flying, you get +1 hit, because it's meant to be like a gunship.
Exactly.
As with all flyers right now, I think don't take.
So each time this model makes a ranged attack that targets an enemy unit, excluding units that can fly, add 1 to the hit roll.
Yeah.
It's not bad, because since a lot of people are not taking flyers, but you just don't think the weapons are worth it, you're saying?
You can take, for example,
You can take a lot more for what it's worth.
I can take 3 Belisarius with the last cannons for 1 of these Stratoraptors. The Stratoraptor comes in turn 2 if you want to make sure it's protected.
Yeah.
And at that point, you can only really shoot like 1 or 2 targets.
Let me get this out of your way. Sorry.
Yeah.
Who?
What?
Me?
Like you in general.
Get close.
Is it too quiet?
Are you able to say who needs to go closer to the mic?
Can you could just up us on the...
Our mics are crapping out.
Are crapping out.
Weird.
What?
Can I hear, let me hear this.
It looks like the Admech gods don't want me to talk about Admech and slander the birds.
We were getting...
Are we getting feedback?
Yeah, I can hear on your mic.
What, feedback?
Yeah, there's like crackling.
Hello? Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Anybody can hear me? SOS?
SOS. Anthony, you can take this one. I think the battery's low. Can you give me yours?
What number is this one?
It doesn't, number 2. There you go.
Are we back?
Now we can hear you. Well, it's cutting out again. What is going on?
Is your phone on airplane?
No, mine's off, yeah.
Mine's on airplane mode.
Something's
Anthony, is your phone too close?
going on. Here we go. Maybe the connection, because we're going through a computer here. We have it in a different
Please let
spot
us know if it's good, because I want to keep talking about Admech. I can't let this happen today.
Here, put this over here.
You can actually go all day about Admech.
It's like, why is it of all days when I want to talk about Admech, we got tech support issues?
There you go. Leave that there. I think we're good now. I can hear it. It sounds
Can you hear
good.
me?
Yeah, we're good. Thank you for the heads up on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Sometimes stuff happens with the connections we have in here. But anyways, moving on. What were you saying?
The Stratoraptors don't take.
Don't take.
Too expensive a gunship on too fragile of a platform leads to you wasting 165 points.
Right.
It is a cool model if it can come on the field and maybe snipe like important things.
No, I agree.
Of targets, but it just does not have enough guns to make it worthwhile. 165 points.
Exactly.
Let me just double check though. But yeah, I don't think this thing is worthwhile.
165. Yeah, no way. Considering like when you go up against like Space Marines right now, what they can get for 160 points as far as like anti-tank stuff goes. And their points updated exactly, and they're even cheaper now. Okay, let's move on to the, what's this one? The Transvector?
This is, you think it's going to be like the old transport from Admech. Basically, it's very similar to what it is. It is the same stat line, 9 wounds, toughness 10, 3-up save. This thing comes with a lot more stubbers, if I recall correctly, than the other variants, because the other variants had like guns and bombing racks. This is just pure stubber.
Yeah.
What's cool about this, it has deep strike.
Ooh.
And it also has the drop pod ability, like quote unquote drop pod ability.
So you can come out and...
Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, like anytime you want, it can ignore the restrictions and just deep strike in.
That's very nice.
As long as you hover. It only has a transport capacity of 11, which is a weird number, but you're meant to probably fit like a Skitarii squad or something like what are they called, Sicarians or something?
Yeah.
This is 140 points. It's cheaper than all the 3 other ones, but it doesn't really offer much utility that other units in this book will offer. The other transport it's fighting against is the Scorpius Disintegrator, which does it for a lot cheaper, is tankier, and just cheaper overall.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You're going to see a very good trend of a lot of it is point cost to durability. Rather than most other armies where it's like point cost per damage, this is how much cheap can you get for durability.
Exactly.
Which is number 1.
I mean, it's a flyer as well. You got to put that in there as well.
Yeah,
so
it's a flyer.
Don't take?
Don't take. You got the holy trinity of birds in don't take. What's up?
What's the Omnipulsus?
What?
Somebody asking?
Transvector with Omnipulsus, evil smile.
Omni Sterilizer.
Oh, the Omni.
So basically,
Omnipulsus.
no, it's the Manipulus. It's the Sterilizer inside a Transvector. It's a cool idea, true, but now it's like you're spending that big of a taxi for them, and he's just going to be by himself after he drops out.
Putting the Sterilizer inside there, you mean?
It seems like a good idea, but you'd be better off putting him in a transport, having the Dune Rider just rush up. Dune Rider has the ability to like disembark its units after advances.
Trust me, it hurts because he's done it against me.
You're saving yourself 60 points, and that 60 points could be towards another Skitarii squad for your Manipulus, or if you want more Breachers, which of course is like the best things in the unit.
For sure.
Book.
All right.
The Transvector has like a lot of cool things, but it is, I think it's a big point sink. Any of the flyers right now are point sink.
They are point sink, and like again, you know my stance on flyers. I'm not going to disagree with you. I think best case scenario, they're bad choices. So yeah, I'm fine with them being a don't take, especially when we move on to some of these other ones. But let's go on to your boy Cawl.
All right, so we got the big boss in the
big
room.
boss man.
This is Cawl.
Yeah.
Better call Cawl. He's
go.
the monster of the army, the leader, the Gilliman.
Is this going to be green screened? Yeah, it is.
He's just drinking tar.
It's just
he's drinking
it's just-
oil for the
yeah,
Admech.
Yeah,
So-
I'm drinking oil on an Admech stream. Look at that.
You can
I'm
see it.
so
It's
glad
it's
we
just
got the
nice
green
and black.
screen working for this.
It's just oil. So Cawl is toughness 8 with 10 wounds.
He is.
2+ save, 4+ invuln, 6-inch movement, so he's a bit on the slow side for a monster.
Yeah.
You take him mainly for the utility. His gun does catch people off guard. The solar atomizers, D3 shots with blast.
Pretty good.
Strength 14, AP -4.
Yep.
3 flat damage. If you're within half range, you get D3 attacks.
That's
D3 damage. I mean.
pretty damn good.
So it basically becomes a really strong melta. That's reliable.
Exactly.
His main ability is you can pick either stealth, reroll once to hit, or reroll battle shock and leadership tests at the start of the battle round.
Yeah.
So you see why my breacher squads and my bricks and my tanks are just so durable.
Yeah.
-1 to hit off the bat, army wide, if you can play him well and like min max and chain.
Again.
What?
Is it where your mic? Oh, it's your mic, maybe.
Oh my god.
Let me hear this. What is with this crackling? You want to move the whole mixer here so
Is
we
it good?
can get
Is it
a
better
clear. Is it you? It's you. Yeah.
It's me.
Talk.
I'm talking. This
Crackling.
thing's broken?
No, it's not broken.
Because it's not. I'm not touching my.
I think
shirt anymore.
it's Anthony. No, but the see mine. It's like has a direct line here to the mic. The actual microphones that are mixed into the mixer. No.
Okay.
The microphones themselves are going through the computer. See here?
Oh, you want to flip around?
Yeah, if you can, just a little bit. Less technology in the middle.
I am a robot. This is the Admech stream. This is where it happens.
And these give them a direct line to.
How was everyone's neck? Admech, which is pretty cool. So all you 10 Admech players out there, I salute you.
The Admech community is very
All 10 Admech players, yeah.
tight-knit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is it better?
talk.
Hello, is it better?
I hear it better.
Can we talk about robots again?
You're crackling. Here, let's change it one more time. Which ones are his?
Why does this keep happening?
Let's change it one more time. I think it's just where we set it up, honestly, with the mic there. But go ahead.
Can we talk now?
Yeah, you can
Can I
talk.
talk now?
Now it sounds really good.
Okay.
Go for it.
So, I forgot what I was talking about.
Wait, he has to unmute you.
You did?
I swapped it.
You
Can
sure?
hear me?
Go. Talk.
I'm talking.
Okay, you're talking. Now you're really tripping me out. Okay,
Okay, you can hear me, right?
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, I think we're done. Third time's a charm.
Third time is a charm.
Hopefully nothing else happens tonight.
Cawl. We were talking about Cawl.
All right, Cawl. Melee, he's not that good. I think he's, no matter what, tournament standard. 180 points just for a really good support character. That
So many buffs, right?
a lot of buffs. He also comes with blown op within 3 inches of a Skitarii, like any Admech unit.
Yep.
Along with that, if he's ever gets shot or in combat, if he's still alive, D3 mortal wounds at the command phase.
Yep.
Sorry, D3 wounds back. He repairs himself.
Yeah, he gets exactly. He's his own mechanic. Tournament standard. Let's put him up there.
Tournament standard. You can't run a list without Cawl. What's up? Again?
Those are behind, Anthony. Remember.
Anthony, why do you keep doing this to me?
All I did was
But he is staple. The way I would run him is you never want to keep him in the back. You want to keep moving him forward.
Yeah.
He has that one multigun that will scare people. When he gets into range, people will be like, "What the hell? Why am I getting hit by like all these really powerful shots?"
I agree. Just keep the headphones on so we can hear it and we can catch it right off when it happens, so we know whose fault it is. Okay, let's move on to these guys. They used to be really good. I used to like these in like 8th edition.
Really?
Yeah, but now they kind of suck, right?
They are very niche. We're talking about the Skitarii Electro-priests now. These guys are the ones with the laser gauntlets or the electro gauntlets. They have a really cool ability where when a character's attached to them, -1 to wound no matter what.
Yeah.
It's very different from other rules, such as with Death Guard bodyguards, where it's only -1 to wound if the toughness is, if the strength is higher than the toughness.
Right.
Simply because these guys are toughness 3 no matter
And they have
what.
a 5-up, feel no pain, right?
5 up, feel no pain, and 5+ invulnerable.
5-up invuln too. Okay.
So what makes them not as good is they do not benefit from Doctrinus.
Right.
So you cannot get +1 to hit if they're for heavy. They cannot get +1 AP if your opponent's in your appointment zone when you shoot them.
Yeah.
They become a really strange unit where it's just there to kill their chaff. So they're really, really bottlenecked in there.
Okay.
Their melee weapons are pretty neat though. It's like 3 attacks hitting on 4,
Yeah,
strength
they're
5,
not
AP
bad.
1 damage with sustained hits.
Yeah.
So in melee, they actually are
Sustain
pretty
hits
formidable.
too. Yeah.
In melee as well. What you want to do with these guys is you want to put them with either the Manipulus, so that they get lethal hits, including with the sustained hits too.
Yep.
So Overwatch becomes unbearable, and they just have a lot of damage output.
It's just like death by 1,000 cuts.
Or if you want, you can take the Dominus,
Yeah.
keep them with like a Sterylizor, and have this as a bodyguard unit, so that they have a 4+ feel no pain with this unit, which becomes really bonkers. Even though they're 1 wound each, they are pretty tough, and they do like what? They're 14 points a model because it's 140 for a 10-man squad.
Okay.
I would put these guys in situational simply because there are situations where you can use them.
Yeah.
I would not, if, for example, the top guys in Tournament Standard, like the main infantry right now that we use, is taken away, these guys would not replace them anytime soon.
You don't think so?
No. They do cool damage, and they have a really cool gimmick, but they don't deal enough, they don't have any AP.
So you want to, I agree. I think they're a niche kind of like unit.
a little bit of disagreements, Justin.
Okay, go ahead.
One's like saying he's too expensive and they'd rather take a Dune Rider or Vanguard.
For what? For Cawl?
Dune Rider with Vanguard instead of Cawl.
Instead of Cawl.
So,
And another one's it's like, Cawl doesn't get Doctrinas?
no, Cawl does not get Doctrinas. He does not benefit from Doctrinas. Any tech priest does not benefit from that. So you need to like play him well, and you need to like creep him up slowly in order to get into Melta range.
Yeah, you do.
He does offer you way more, like a lot of utility for what's worth. I do understand that people want to take like the Vanguard with the
Some oil.
Dune Rider, but you can already do that, and it is an endurably tanky unit to take. But having that stealth on that Dune Rider turn 1 in a position where it can be shot and still survive, and then having him bum rush up and then disembarking the Vanguard with Cawl in place is better than just another Dune Rider, I find. Thanks for the input on that.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's other combos you can do instead of Cawl.
But
you like them because you said he buffs your Skitarii or around Skitarii.
No, buffs everything.
He buffs everything around.
So we're talking about the Dune Rider here. These Dune Riders get a massive buff from Cawl.
Yeah.
If you want to have him hitting on 3s, rerolling once to hit with your Dune Riders, this guy's where it's at. Like, it is very hard to find rerolls otherwise in the army unless you take like Cawl, which it's brutal. I really hope that they add more synergy with other people just rather than just having everyone surround Cawl. But for now, Cawl is basically where it's at. He's
Better
like
Cawl.
a very center point of the army if you want to be competitive.
Better Cawl.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the next one. Is this the Datasmith?
It's the Cybernetica Datasmith.
Datasmith. Okay.
I don't even know where to get started.
I don't even see this guy being run anymore, but
I'm not going to be too harsh on him and the unit that he leads. I think that they might have some uses, but they are definitely not that viable.
He leads what?
The Castellan robots.
Castellans, yeah.
If the Castellans are hopefully buffed by the Codex, I think they need to be just a little bit faster. Like durability-wise, they're really
clunky, but they hit hard, right?
They hit like I would not say they hit really hard. They don't hit like Breacher hard, but they're 4 attack. Well, I'm just getting ahead of myself, but the Castellan robots have 4 attacks, hitting on 4s, strength 12, AP minus 2, 3 flat damage, and melee combat. Okay. If you take both fists, you get twin linked. So whatever
getting them into combat is the issue, though.
So whatever you hit with them, they're just going to mortal wound them.
Yeah.
The Data Smith allows you to, at the beginning of the, I think, in your turn.
You can add 2 to the attack characteristic of ranged weapons. You can add 2 to the attack characteristic of melee weapons, or you can add 1 to the toughness characteristic of the Castellan robots.
That is if you pass a leadership check on a leadership 7+.
Right.
So now you basically need like almost a 50-50 chance,
right.
like if my math is right, to get that to pass. They already come out of the box. Like if you want to talk about both the Castellan robots and Data Smith right now, because these guys are
you can link them together, exactly. So because we're going to kind of give away, I think they're both kind of niche as well. So I mean, if they're not going to be used, you're probably not going to use Castellans, right?
I don't know if I want to talk, like, I can go on a little bit of a tangent here, but what makes them weak right now is not just because of the durability thing. Because if you attach a Data Smith to the Castellan robots, you need to take infantry debuffs as well.
Yes.
You don't get, like, your Castellan robots aren't going to be able to move through walls as if they're infantry, but they are going to be suffering from anti-infantry weapons.
Yep.
For example, if you shoot, is it combi bolters, I think? Like combi meltas or whatever they're called?
Combi?
From like Stern Guards, like the combi weapons, which are anti-infantry 4+.
Devastating wounds,
All of a sudden now you get anti-infantry 4+ from Stern Guard. You're playing against Dark Eldar, you're getting anti-infantry 4+. Sure, you have a 2-up save. It's still going to be a lot more easy to wound you than anything else. A lot of rules, such as the Basilisk, that affects infantry units. If it hits the Castellan robots with the Data Smith there, you now suffer a movement penalty, a charge penalty, and advance penalty on an already
I don't think that would
robot.
work in that case, because I think it says excluding vehicles and monsters.
Is it units though? Can you double check?
If you have the keyword, so I don't think it's going to apply to you. So in that case, I don't, just the Basque and that kind of stuff, I don't think it would work.
For Basilisk?
Let's see. Enemy infantry unit. It says infantry unit.
Anthony's
so
wrong.
If you get shot, because you have a Data Smith there, the unit becomes like an infantry also. You get shot by the Basilisk, your robots are moving on 4s.
Pretty good.
I propose that if GW does update it, they add a little bit more of a movement ability to these units because they're already deceptively tanky.
They are, yeah.
Buffing them to toughness 10 out of the bat, if you pass the leadership check, means that you're getting wounded by Maltas on 5s.
Correct.
Like, toughness, in my opinion, is not the problem, it's the speed. Getting them into combat is just the biggest issue they have.
Yeah.
Like, right now, I think they're in a bad situation.
So you think what, bad choice for this?
They're in a bad choice situation.
I agree. Fully agree.
4 robots would just be ridiculously tanky. Toughness 10, 2-up save.
Points?
100 points a model.
Yeah. Like, I mean, there's just better choices right now. And you have more, and mobility. Like, that's another thing we're going to be talking about later on. You need mobility now. Like, you need to get to objectives. You need to do secondaries. And they're slow as, like, I'm not even going to say it, but there's 6-inch movement on the robots.
They only have 6-inch movement, which hurts them a lot.
A lot.
They
also want to get them into combat, right?
They also don't benefit from Doctrinas, meaning that you don't get on turn 1 heavy abilities, or if you're in your deployment zone, you get shot, worsening the AP by 1. You don't even get if you're like take the range variant, and you could advance and shoot or something like that. You're stuck there. You're just 6-inch movement, advancing, hoping to get into combat soon, and then fighting. So we're just going to put the robots buddies beside them, and bad choice. Yeah. If something happens to, like, say the Onager, like the chickens eventually, like they get nerfed or something, I would take maybe a squad of these, like 2 or that's it, and just have them in the middle trying to like sit there. They are, like, once again, tanky, but 90 points for a stat line like that, I don't know if it's really too good. No, I agree with that. I agree with them both being in bad choice. And the other priests, this is the Fulgurites. Fulgurites. These are the melee tech priests. They don't have any shooting. Same abilities as the These are the Electro-priests, right? Yes. Yeah. They have the same stat line as the other ones there. So they're toughness 3, 6-inch movement. 5 up, 5 up. 5 up, 5 up. If you attach a tech priest dominus to them, you get a 4+ feel no pain, which is pretty cool. That's very good. I think these guys are, to be fair, they're 1 point more expensive than the other ones with the gauntlets. It's subtract 1 to wound as well with yes. Yeah. But melee with these guys is pretty bad. They get 2 attacks each, strength 5, AP minus 1, 2 damage. They do get devastating wounds though.
Do they?
Yeah, but
they have dev
you have
wounds.
so few attacks if you take like a
2
10-man
each, 3 plus, hitting on 3s, strength 6, AP 1, 2
strength
damage.
6.
Yeah. What are you murmuring about? What happened?
Anthony.
I thought it was strength 6 because I was looking at it.
Oh.
Yeah, strength 6. So
Yeah.
it still doesn't seem that good for me. You could benefit from like, I don't know. I don't really know what could work well with it. I've been trying to find out things that could work with this unit. Maybe you can unload them from D-Day Land, Dune Rider, and then just charge into something. But they're not going to be that tanky, and they're just overall. I think they're more of a tar pit unit.
Situational. Situational to bad choice.
It's going to be, if anything, I could see a use for them because you can put them inside Dune Riders, move them up, and just be a cheese unit to like move block or even get into combat.
For 120 points?
120 points for 10?
You would pay that?
For these guys here?
You think they're worth it over like taking more breachers or something?
It all comes down to breachers. That's the thing. You're competing against breachers.
That's what I'm saying. Like there are uses for them, but like on a level of, are they going to be competitive?
To be frank, if I were to take Electro-priests, I would take the shooting ones. Being able to just come out of transport and then unload a lot of shots is better than having to try to get a charge.
So you want to put them underneath?
I would put them underneath, and they're going to be like, it's either between bad choice and situational. I would lean more to
top of bad choice.
Bad choice.
Okay.
They're cool and all, but they get outshined by too much.
Yeah, I agree with that. Here we go. Your chickens.
All right, this one's very easy.
Okay,
Ballistarii
I'll put them up here.
Top tier. You need them. 50 points for one Twin Cognus Last Cannon, which is just a Last Cannon with Twin Linked and sustain hits 1.
They're really good.
They hit on 4s, which is very poor, but they also benefit from Doctrinas. So meaning that you can, if you need to be in the Conqueror Doctrine, so you can get assault weapons, these guys can get it. If you need to be in Protector Doctrine, where you want to sit back, bunker down, and get heavy weapons on these guys, now they're hitting on 3s.
And they have good movement.
You want to use these guys aggressively, though. Be smart, but don't just throw them up your opponent and just give them free kills. Use them to move block, attack, charge into people, because their ability, people thought was really bad in the beginning, but it's actually really cool. You can charge, and if you ever stuck in combat, you can fall back out of engagement range, shoot, and then charge again.
Yeah, you can.
So you can fall back, do movement shenanigans, take flanks on your opponent when they least expect it, and just get back into combat to tie things up.
You can be Eldar.
Or just finish things off. For 50 points, these things are ridiculously cheap for what they are.
No, for sure.
The autocannon variants, I don't think is as useful because the laser cannon, the last cannon, is just, nobody expects it. You don't expect these things to do damage, you expect these things to just tie things up. And when you do hit hard and you get a 6, and you end up with 2 shots, people will be like, wow, you just ended up crippling a Land Raider or just destroying it.
You want to tell people how many chickens you have from last edition?
So, I'm just a chicken farmer. With the amount of chicken, with the amount of Ballistarii / Dragoons I have, I can probably open a chicken farm. Like actually, just go to Toronto, Ontario, get a chicken farm. I have 20 chickens.
20 chickens.
I have 20
you can't even
right
run
now.
that anymore, right?
Yes, I have 10, 11 Ballistarii, and then 7 or 8 Sydonian Dragoons, and I have more.
Think of that. How much money that is.
It's a lot of money. Admech is the most expensive army.
Yeah.
But when you buy one chicken a month for a year and a half, you're like, oh, it just builds up.
Now you're a chicken farmer.
But these guys
they're
are
really
just
good.
Up there.
They're really good, yeah.
Best thing you can do is have one in the back line just holding objective because they're 50 points.
50 points.
But
they've got a lot of movement. Like you said, great for move blocking, screening. You don't want to just sacrifice them, but they're a lot more. Now that did they go down a lot in points from 9?
These guys went down a lot. I think they used to be 65 or 60 points with the last cannon.
So you can't take as many, but they're cheap and great movement, great anti-tank, and you said it best. They can use the Doctrinas, right? They get abilities, they get all that stuff. So they're really good.
A lot of the Skitarii units are just really good with the current iteration of Admech. I have I can go on and on about tactics with playing chickens. I call it the chicken tech.
So if anybody wants to buy chickens off of us, we have a lot of extra ones. They're already painted. They're really nicely painted. He's gonna sell them to you because he has 21 of them. Unless GW changes the the cap
I
for
really
units.
hope if they bring back 6 units of chickens, I'd be just 2,000 points of chickens.
Yeah.
I never even got to do that in.
Please run 36 chickens.
Oh
What?
my God! Don't
Please
give him
run
ideas.
36
Wait,
chickens.
someone has 36 chickens.
No, you should.
Run 36
Yeah, you.
chickens. He doesn't have 36.
He should.
You should.
Okay, so let's go to another great unit.
This is the king right now. This is the Breachers.
The Breachers. But which one is this? This is the
Breachers.
There's two Breachers, right?
Kataphron
The Destroyers
Breachers
and Breachers.
Destroyers.
Okay.
So Kataphron Breachers are meant to be the tanky boys.
Yeah.
They are toughness 7.
I'm gonna go like this, by the way, with Cawl being below.
I think the chickens are just I think they're even better than Cawl. Like I can run not having Cawl, but Cawl really buffs the durability of a 50-point Ironstrider. Imagine having this Ironstrider unit, like 2-man, turn 1 within stealth range of Cawl. Your opponent's going to waste a lot of shooting on a 50-point model or a 100-point unit, however you want to do it. Yeah. And if they shoot into the chickens, like the Ironstriders, they're ignoring your Breachers. And when your Breachers start unloading, then they're going to start killing things. Yeah. So let's go back into the stat line of the Breachers, though.
Yeah, because we like to say, like, toughness. Well, you buff their toughness, right?
No, I don't. Let me go through it first. What happened?
Oh, they're T7 base.
Yeah, these guys, you run a T7 army. Yeah, like it's insane.
My army is basically 95% toughness 7.
Yeah, because that's the comfort zone. I mean, that's the golden zone is like T7, strength 7, right? Like
no, not many strength 7s. Well, I guess on my tasers for sure. Yeah. But it's the most important thing is most of my army is in like Ironstrider engines, so 7 wounds.
7 wounds and 7 toughness.
You need to get really lucky to like get 3 wounds on like
D6
9,
plus 2.
Yeah. You want to try to get like 9 damage on 3 damage through weapons on these guys. It's already tough enough because they're toughness 7. Yeah. Majority of my army is stealth already, so it's -1 to hit. So if you're playing Space Marines, you're hitting on 4s, wounding them on either 4s or 5s.
Your chickens are 7 wounds, you mean?
Yeah, toughness 7 with 7 wounds.
These are 3 wounds, but not to confuse people.
Yeah, but I mean, because we're talking about toughness 7.
Toughness 7, strength 7. It is like when you shoot a D6, like what are they called? Wraith Knights.
It's the Wraith.
Sorry, the Wraith
D-cannon.
Guard.
Isn't it the D-cannon?
No, the Wraith Guard. When they have their Wraith Cannon D6, you can't kill them with 1. You got to waste 2 on it. You got to blow it, and you got to roll pretty decent with that. Even D6 plus 1, you're not killing a chicken straight up. You got to roll pretty well. Yep. These ones as well, but you start stacking a little bit more than just that, and giving these guys like what a better invuln.
So with the Kataphron Breachers. Yeah. Toughness 7 base, 3 wounds apiece. Toughness 3 with a 6+ invuln. 5 movement makes them really slow, but they do benefit from Doctrina, so they can advance and shoot as well if you're in the Conqueror Doctrine.
Which is really nice.
If you need to play defensive, you're going to get -1 AP if you're in your deployment zone. Yes. The ruling on that is as long as you're within your deployment zone, you get the ability. So that means one model is within your deployment zone, the whole unit benefits from the Heavy Doctrine or the Protector Doctrine. They're
really slow, but they do have infantry, so they can go through buildings and things like that, which is really nice. They're kind of clunky. That's the only thing about them is like you can't. The way you got to be very careful the way you position them because you can get them. You can get some of the units stuck behind a building, and you can't shoot. But they do so much work. Like when they work, they do. And hitting on 4s, turning into 3s. You make them hit on 3s.
Okay. If you start saying Protector and you don't move, then you hit on 3s. Okay. The main key draw to them is Breacher Protocol. Their ability, if they're shooting at target, reroll once to hit. Right. If you're within 6 inches of a battle line unit, you reroll all hit rolls. That's where the craziness comes in.
So Skitarii.
Yes, Skitarii. Either the Vanguard or the Rangers, you get that buff. Yeah. These guys here have 36-inch power fists. The heavy arc rifle is strength 8, AP -2, 3 flat damage. Yes. If you don't think that's a power fist, then I'm just gonna like shoot my fist at you with like 36 inches. Within 18 inches, you get 4 shots now. Yeah. So imagine with that, it's a lot. Stacking with a Tech Priest Manipulus, which gives lethal hits, and also taking a Master Annihilator, which is an enhancement for sustained hits 1 to that unit. Yeah. Now you got a 6-man squad with 4 shots each if you're within 18, 24 with hitting on 3s, or sorry, hitting on 4s, I'm gonna assume, because most of the time when I play my Admech itself, I rely on the full reroll rather than like hitting on 3s.
For sure, it's much better.
You get lethal hits, sustain hits 1. You just basically spike them out. I've had games where I go 24 shots, goes to like 27, 28.
Yeah, for sure.
I've had games where I played against Anthony. He comes up to me thinking, oh, this Demolisher is just gonna like move into the Breacher range. Like 24 shots in Overwatch, I ended with like 10 hits and like 12 or 13 wounds on Overwatch.
And something else.
Funny you mentioned Overwatch actually real quick. Someone just put the math of Overwatch on Breachers in real quick into chat. On average, 7 hits in Overwatch. Sustained hits makes that 14 hits in Overwatch.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like
AP -2, right?
Oh my.
AP -2.
Anti-vehicle 4+.
Yeah.
These things are your bread and butter. The heavy, the other cannon it has is pretty cool. It's anti-infantry with blast, and it does quite a decent amount of damage.
Absolutely.
But you want just arc rifles, because vehicle killing, anti-vehicle in Admech is very difficult to find.
It is, yes.
Like when I'm talking about you focus more on toughness than you focus on damage, it's simply because Admech doesn't really have the reliability with damage. Like for example, like you talk about another army guard, they have a lot more easy ways to access hitting on threes and all that. While with Admech, you're relying on 1-2 core units, which are going to be your breachers, for the main damage, and everything else is just there to get lucky shots in. And when those lucky shots get in,
and maneuvering around the board and doing all your objectives.
When your lucky shots get in, your opponent's gonna be like, wow, this just happened.
Yeah, they're
it's
good,
a dice game.
and we'll put them at the top of tournament standard. Obviously, you need them if you want to be competitive. You need these guys. Also, their stratagem for shooting back when you get shot is massive. So that's an additional round of shooting from your breachers. You shot them, they become, again, they turn into Wraith Guard again.
Hey, best strategy for you and for any Admech player,
don't shoot them.
Use them for Overwatch, because you get a free round of shooting your opponent's face. If your opponent decides to shoot into your breachers with something else, pop that 1 CP strat to use to shoot once more. So basically, in your opponent's turn, you shoot twice.
Yes, exactly.
All you need is one little mind slip. I had, in that same game with the Demolisher, I then shot you first, before shooting with anything else, an Engine Seer with a las pistol and missed. If you caught me there, you would have got a full free round of shooting.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Admech is, you got to learn how to like cheese it, because Admech is not in the best spot. You need a lot of good mechanical, no pun intended, knowledge.
Mechanical knowledge.
All right.
Moving on to the Destroyers. I guess they're not in the same range as the Breachers, obviously.
They are not as good. There are some pretty good uses for them.
Yep.
I personally, if I were to take them, I would take the grav cannons, have them take a small squad, and come in from reserve. They do come a lot cheaper of a price tag. I think like $230 compared to the $290 for a 6-man squad.
Yeah.
They aren't as tough, and their ability is not as good.
And their guns are not as good.
No, not that good. Not as good. They still are heavy weapons though. Like a Space Marine would be wishing their one guy could shoot 4 plasma cannon shots. I think
AP -1, anti-vehicle 2+.
it's a grav cannon.
Yeah,
it's just
a grav.
not a good grav cannon.
It's got 30-inch range, 4 shots. It's a grav cannon, exactly. They're not bad. I just like the Breachers so much better.
These guys, if Breachers one day just get knocked off the board because, let's take away the full rerolls. With the current stat of how it is, I would probably take this more often.
They wouldn't get the rerolls?
No. These guys have Overwatch on 5+.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So with how do you want to play these Destroyers, you probably want to set them up far away because they have long-range guns.
Yep.
Keep them in Protector Doctrine, so you get heavy weapons at all times.
Yep.
And you just try to unload downfield. They do have really strong AP with their plasma cannons, so you want to sit back and just keep lobbing shots into opponents from long range. If they do get close, you can Overwatch on a 5+, and you also have built-in flamers in there. So these things are sort of like a porcupine. I would say that they're more of, I think they're pretty decent choice, above average choice.
They're strong.
Like, I'm just telling you the stat line.
They're definitely strong. They're not, for me, they're not Breachers, but they're still a strong unit.
You put them with a Manipulus, and you get lethal hits all of a sudden.
Wow.
And you put them with sustain hits 1, and these guys actually become pretty durable for the point cost.
And then you said the Overwatching on 5+ is really good.
Yeah, and if you really need the rerolls, Cawl is going to be there to give rerolls once to hit. Now, you're hitting on 3s, you get sustain hits 1, lethal hits, and you're just unloading a lot of shots into people.
A shoot ton of shots. All right, you don't see a bunch of these around anymore.
Okay, now we're getting into the vehicle pool of the Admech. I think this
Dunecrawlers.
If
just want to say, every time you play them against me, they do nothing. That's all I'm going to say. And you bring them in from Deep Strike, right? Or reserves.
Simply because they're a bit on the slower side.
They are. 8-inch movement. They got 11 wounds. That's going for them.
But here's the thing. They're toughness 10, 11 wounds, and 2-up save with a 4+ invuln.
Wait, are they 2-up save, really?
2-up save, yes. It's right there. For 140 points, this thing is a steal.
It is. That is really good. I didn't know it had a 2-up save. That is pretty damn durable. And a 4-up invulnerable.
Yes.
Yeah, they're good. Like, I like them.
They are definitely a strong choice to take. I've seen people take them. The only thing that is a gripe for me is a lack of number of shots.
That's tougher than a Plague Burst Crawler.
They just don't have the reliability of shots if you play an aggressive army. If you want to play an army that sits back and stays in Protector Doctrine the whole entire game, then these things become really durable and really useful. simply because they hit on 3s now from heavy.
Yeah.
And if you take the neutron laser, you can even get heavy built in, so you can be staying in other doctrines.
Yeah.
I think this thing would be a strong choice. If if Breachers were not there, I would be spamming a lot of the Admech motor pool right now.
Yeah.
And these guys, I'd probably take at least 2 or 3.
You take 2 of these?
140 points. It's really cheap for what they do.
So I think they're strong. I agree with you. They're strong. They're below the Destroyers.
I think for me, I think I'd put them above the Destroyers. I do like the Onager Dunecrawler more than the Breachers.
And what weapon you saying you're taking with this?
The Eradication Beamer is pretty good. D6 shots, I think strength 9 if you minus 3 flat damage if you overcharge it, and it also sustain hits D3. So meaning you can like
Turn
spike.
over heavy phosphor. The blast, what's it called? The neutron laser has blast and heavy. It hits on 2 attacks, hitting on 4s, strength 16, AP minus 4, D6 plus 1 damage. That's pretty good as well.
It's a heavy last cannon. I prefer that profile, but I would choose.
It has blast as well though.
It's good for taking out like heavy vehicles.
Yeah.
It is a bit random with the
or
D6
like
plus
Terminators.
1.
Just like shred Terminators with that. A 5-man unit of Terminators are getting 3 shots. Heavy, if you don't move, you're hitting on 3s. Can you buff it in any other way?
Nope.
Okay, so then
The best
still pretty good.
The best you can do is have Call around to give reroll 1s to hit.
Yeah.
Which would benefit these guys a lot. If you want to kill infantry, take the Eradication Beamer. The long range, one of the profiles is flat 3 damage.
Yeah.
So if you want to shoot at like a
Terminators?
mob, a Terminator blob,
Yeah.
it also has sustained hits D3.
Okay.
So if you roll any 6s there, guess what? D3 extra shots at the Terminators.
Ooh.
Good luck making all these saves. And every single one that fails is a Determinator.
All right, let's go on to the what do they call the Skystalkers?
Are the Traxxas Skystalkers. They are the ones, they're basically the swooping hawks of Admech. What's up?
What happened?
Can you just scroll down over here? Say
Huh?
something?
Huh?
Okay, you're good.
What's going
What's going on?
I didn't hear anything on the headphones, but I heard you in.
Are you plugged in?
We are haunted by the ghost of Admech.
We are haunted by the ghost of Anthony. Huh?
What?
I don't know what's going on. Anthony is, did you drink some kombucha or something? All right, so what do you got? You used them against me once.
Not these ones.
You have the
other
next
variants.
guys, yeah.
I would say that these guys are the swooping hawks of Admech. They are 12-inch movement with jump pack. They have 4 wounds, toughness 4 with 2 wounds apiece, and they have a 5+ invulnerable and 4 save. Their ability is after they shoot, they can move 6 inches, or with 12 inches if they move wholly within Skitarii battle line.
Wow. So they get an extra double move.
Yeah. So if you come, I don't know if this is still a thing, but if you can come from deep strike, shoot something, you can still move after that.
Nice.
I don't remember if that's a thing or if it's.
That really depends on the rule, because for the most part, you can never really move from deep strike. I think it depends the rule.
Yeah, no, you can't move when you come in from reserves, but yeah, that's kind of weird. From reserve, you mean, or from when you're on the table?
If you deep strike in.
You can move after you deep strike?
I don't know, but either way.
It says in your shooting phase, after this unit has shot, if it's not within engagement range of any one or more enemy units, it can do one of the following: make a normal move up to 6 inches, or make a move up to 12 inches, provided everything in that army, wholly within 6 inches or more of the friendly attack. So this wouldn't be able to happen after deep strike.
All right.
No, it's a shooting phase.
So that's where
because coming in from deep strike removes that, like it says you cannot move.
So that's where it sort of becomes not as great. This unit is pretty funky. I did chow down on the math with Anthony at lunch.
Yeah.
What do you mean you are correct tack?
What?
Someone said you are correct tack.
Oh, they're calling you tack from Play on Tabletop.
Oh, I'm famous.
We're going to Play on He is our tack. He's our tack.
Oh, is that what you meant? I was so confused. I'm like, well, who's correct?
Justin is our tack.
All right.
We are going to Play on Tabletop actually on October 23rd. We're doing a collab with them. Great guys over there. Your tack. That's your NKG tack.
I'm NKG
and Anthony's
tack.
NKG Space Marine Steve.
Okay.
And I'll be JT because I'm bald.
Back to talking about the Skystalkers.
Yeah.
A lot of shots. I think 24 shots is what we came out to if we don't include the sergeant. These guys can just move in, shoot, and then move 6 inches elsewhere, or just fly back into where they were around Skitarii. They're only strength 3 shots though, which makes them pretty weak.
I don't like them.
I would use them more as objective monkeys. and that's about it.
So they are Swooping Hawks then.
They legit are Swooping
I
Hawks.
saw a comment today on our Eldar one saying that Swooping Hawks are on par with Warp Spiders. I don't know what that guy was referring to. There's no way the Warp Spiders are on par with Swooping Hawks. Swooping Hawks are objective monkeys, and I agree, these guys are objective monkeys just because of that extra movement, right?
Yeah.
So situational?
I would put them situational. If you want to play the objective game,
I think both of them are situational, honestly.
do you want to talk about the Flamer dudes?
Sure.
So the Flamer ones are the Sterylizors.
Yep.
Each of them has a D6 Strength 4 AP 01 damage Flamer.
Yep.
With Torrent and a Gross Cover, of course, that's where it comes in. The Sergeant comes with a pistol and a Taser Goad. So you only get 4 Flamers when you have a 5-man squad. Their ability is when they hit something, as long as it's not, I think, monster or vehicle, on a 4+, if you're within range of a Skitarii battle line unit, you basically do a Basilisk. -2 to move, -2 to advance, -2 to charge. Very high damage unit this one is, but their ability is sort of niche, I find.
You sound like Yoda there.
I've been watching a lot of Star Wars.
Very high damage this one is.
I've been watching a lot of Star Wars I've watched.
A lot of Star Wars
it
I've
is.
watched. Very high damage this one is. Yeah, I agree with you.
These guys are meant to be just coming in and being a harassment unit.
Yeah.
I played around with them once or twice. I couldn't really get the hang of them.
Right.
The problem with deep striking with Admech is you aren't guaranteed to make enough pockets for deep strikes to come in.
True.
So when you are having a deep strike, you're relying on your opponent to overcommit, and then you can put your pockets where you put your Sterylizors or you put your Skystalkers.
God, I hate those guys.
These guys, like both of the variants, require some work to actually make use of.
I think they're situational still.
I
they're
think,
just
situational.
objective monkeys type of unit. And that leads us to these guys. What are they called?
These Cerberus Raiders.
They are not, I don't see these in any, I haven't played one Admech player that takes these anymore.
You'd be surprised. They actually
Really?
do have some use. The Raiders
Yep.
have Scout 9. They have 12-inch movement
they?
base. And whenever an enemy gets within 9 inches of these horses or dogs, you get to make
Horses.
D6-inch movement.
Yeah.
If you're already within battle, if you end your movement within battle line, it becomes 6 inches.
They have dev wounds on their carbine.
shotguns.
Yeah, hitting on 4s. Strength 4 is AP 0, 1 damage, but the dev wounds there is really good. But you're only, what?
You get 3 shots each.
So how many in a unit? 3?
3 to 6. So you get 9 shots.
So 9 shots.
These are a utility unit.
Not gonna, yeah, it's very niche.
Remember how we were talking about yesterday? Like we were discussing about tactics and strategies. I was trying to convince you guys that movement blocking is super important, especially with dedicated transports. These guys are 60 points for 3. If you know you're getting first turn, Scout 9, move 12 up to your opponent. If they want to Overwatch, 1 CP is gone. Otherwise, you're just legit move blocking your opponent. And next turn, if they don't have fly, they're gonna have to walk around your Cerberus Raiders or have to like just move back or sit there and just finish them off.
Yep.
You're giving your opponent no room to actually like charge anyways, because what's he gonna do? If they're right in front of you, you charge them.
You have to deal with them.
You can't do anything.
You have to deal with those guys in the front. Kenny does a similar thing with what are
Those are the Death Riders.
the Death Riders. They're very cheap. He brings them out, and they have an ability where when you get too close to them, they just move back.
These guys.
So they're always in front of you for the first 2 turns.
These guys are strong. If I cannot take Sydonian Dragoons, or if you guys like tell me I can't
Dragoons.
take chickens, I'm taking like a bunch of these guys.
So these guys are strong then?
These guys are strong.
Both of them?
These other ones, they feel more of shock cavalry.
Okay.
They have strength 3 flamers on the little doggos.
They're horses.
They're dogs.
These are dogs?
Yeah, they're dogs.
That
That's why they're called hounds.
That looks like a
Sulfur
horse
hounds.
to me.
They have dog faces.
That's not a dog face.
If you look close to the picture, they do.
It's actually a human in there.
That's a horse.
And it's a human inside.
Sorry, that's a robotic horse. I don't care what GW
So
says.
these guys have just strength 3 flamers, which is okay.
The legs look like dogs.
The most important thing about them is when they get into charge range, every single model in that unit on a 4+, I believe, deals mortal wounds.
Yes.
Right?
Make a normal move up to 6 inches, then you make another move. So they have the same like.
No, that's the Raiders we're looking at. We're looking at the.
Oh, you're looking at the
Sulfur
other
Hounds
ones. Okay.
now. Like we already put those ones in.
Yes,
else.
they do mortal wounds. 4+.
How many mortal wounds is it? 1 mortal wound?
1 mortal wound on a 4+.
Yep. And when you take 6-man squads of these, you can get 3 mortal wounds. You don't even have to be engagement range. I think 1 model. Has to get within
Each time
range.
this unit ends a charge move, select one enemy unit within engagement range of it. Roll 1d6 for each model in that unit, adding 2 to the result. If that unit started its charge within 6 inches of one or more friendly Adeptus Mechanicus battle line units, for each 4+, that enemy unit suffers 1 mortal wound. How long-winded is that rule?
So here's the thing. If you'd have like the new Assault Intercessors with jump packs that are coming out, they need to be within engagement range. The models have to be like touching base to base in engagement range. These guys, I can string it out like this. Like, you know, like a conga line. Everyone in that unit is going to be able to get a mortal wounds off on them. And if that unit that's getting charged within 6 inches of the battle line because of your Dune Riders, you're going to be dealing like 4 or 5 mortal wounds if you're real lucky.
Yeah, Anthony, with the string, you know, with we had a discussion this week about we were talking a bit on the live stream. Necrons can't string units out. So when units come back from reanimation, they have to come in. They have to come in from reanimation around the units that are already there existing. So you can't bring back 4 Necrons in that turn and then keep piling on to units to models that were not there in the turn before.
From the start of the phase.
But that's not for every
That's not for
every army though.
That's a universal rule.
So Poxwalkers can't come back like that anymore?
I believe so, yes.
I got to check that.
Thank goodness.
Because it's a universal rule, it's not a Necrons rule.
So they nerfed Necrons directly, and then it nerfed a
and it
bunch of
hits
others.
other people. Side nerfs happen all the time, like, you know, devastating wounds change for Custodes.
Thank God I don't have any of this stuff.
Okay, so I mean, you want to put these both in strong?
These are
you said?
strong.
Okay, I did not know that.
People are sleeping on them, but they are strong.
People are sleeping on these.
A lot of early 10th edition lists had a lot of Sulfur Hounds and
Fun
Raiders
fact,
there too.
the Flamers are pistol.
Yeah, they're pistol.
Now that's funny.
It's strength 3 pistol, but
have you
it's
not
better
met
than nothing.
salamanders?
Okay, so next up we have the Servitors. Don't take them. They're hitting on 6s. They're actually quite expensive.
Yeah.
Don't take them.
Ruststalkers, don't take them.
Those Ruststalkers are infiltrators. Those are infiltrators because they have the pistol.
Are they? I'd say don't take them either.
They have infiltrate, 14 points of I think 14 points a model. I
Slow?
don't think they're not slow. They have
8 inches.
8-inch movement, and they have infiltrate.
They do. They infiltrate.
Their abilities and their weapons are
They'll be dead
very
before
lackluster.
they'll be dead before they get anywhere. But
I would put they are outshined by the Cerberus Raiders. If you get first turn, you have Scout 9. That basically will cover off enough space that an infiltrator would do. Because you don't want to put your infiltrators right in front of your opponent. You want to put them in strategic locations.
Yeah.
If you, as a good Admech player, have good positioning skills, your Cerberus Raiders can cover 9 inches just to get enough range of these infiltrators for 10 points less, and are way more useful.
can you use text-to-speech in at the next tournament? You can only talk in text-to-speech when you play.
They also have stealth. Can you reach up above to get him for that? For saying that? Oh, I love it so
we
much.
defy physics here.
Do they have? They have
Breaking through the
infiltrate.
screen. How come? Why can't I break through his screen?
It's not
Justin,
there.
put your hands up.
Give me another week of movie magic.
Hold
to
on,
do
give me
that.
high five. Wait, wrong side.
There.
Go, give me high five. There we go.
Yes, they do have stealth, but I don't think that will really help them with their toughness 4 and just 2 wounds. I'd say they're just bad choice right now.
Yeah, I agree.
If you want to have something with stealth and is fast and tough, look no further than Sydonian Dragoons.
We're gonna get to that.
Ruststalkers are
Bad
the next
choice.
one. Bad choice.
Don't waste your time.
I
They were so good in 9th, actually.
What makes them weak right now is their melee profile is not worth it.
Yeah.
There's no way to buff them in melee. Their strength 4, AP mass 1/1 damage.
What characters can go with them?
Nothing.
Nothing.
None of these Sicarians can have a character attached to them, which really hampers their usefulness. If you want, do you want to keep going on and talk about them? I think
You could talk about them a little bit. Yeah, like you tell them why
So-
they're not good.
the ability of these Ruststalkers is they get +1 to charge,
Yeah,
+2 to charge if they start within battle line
correct.
range. That doesn't help that their toughness 4 with 2 wounds and their weapons are really weak. They're meant to be assassins, so their blades, I believe, have precision. But you're hitting on 4s, winning most things on 5s.
Ruststalkers?
Yeah. They are just not useful. And those strats really help benefit them. By the time you fight into something, you're probably going to take like a couple wounds off, and then you're just going to get punched to death afterwards.
Yeah, for 100%.
It's not worth it. They also can't do things like fall back and shoot, fall back and charge. Once you throw them at your opponent, they're basically just, you're giving them free points.
Yeah.
The stealthy guys, the infiltrators, have your opponent suffers leadership penalties and especially if they're within range of a battle line unit, they get like -2 to the leadership.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And I think Battle Shock is a really cool mechanic, but I don't think it's worth 14 points a model for a unit that is really also terrible in melee combat.
Yep.
All right, next up.
Move on to the Marshal.
The Marshal is a funny unit. He is meant to benefit Skitarii battle line units, which are the Vanguard and the Rangers.
Reroll hit rolls.
And you get to use a stratagem if a stratagem is already used somewhere else, which is not as good as a Space Marine Captain, where it's like you get it for free.
Yeah. But giving full rerolls to hit is pretty good, even though it's only Skitarii.
It's pretty, like, the shots you're shooting are pea shooter shots.
They are pea shooters, but they get to roll all the pea shots.
The important thing is not that. What you want to take is the 10-point upgrade to allow him to switch a Doctrina for one unit within 12 inches. That's Skitarii.
That's very strong.
So rather than having your whole entire army being Assault Conqueror Doctrine for the entire turn, you can have that one cheeky Ironstrider that's sitting right in position, give him Protector Doctrine. Now he's hitting on 3s while your rest of your army is just pushing into your opponent and just being able to take like really good pot shots now.
That is very cheeky.
He's also 10 points. 35 points. 10 points with the relic becomes 45 points.
Yes.
So sometimes I don't even take him with attaching to a squad if I know that I can get away with it.
Yeah.
I can just have him for a 45-point objective control guy.
Yep.
Or just doing like corners.
Right.
Don't even bother putting him with the squad. Put him in a Dune Rider with someone else and just disembark them.
I
also,
agree.
don't fall into the trap of putting him with Rangers inside a Dune Rider, because Dune Riders with Rangers have Scout 6.
Dune Riders with Rangers have Scout 6.
Because the Rangers give Scout 6 to the Dune Rider.
Okay.
And Scout 6, I've been playing a lot with them. It's fantastic.
Scout 6 is not bad.
This guy
You take them, don't you?
I take them. Everyone takes them, because having the ability to flip a Doctrina for
That's
one
so powerful,
model
I know.
is good. I put him in. He's tournament standard. Yeah. Okay, this list is looking a lot. I thought it was gonna be more situational stuff.
Honestly, that's pretty funny because someone said from 0 to 0.
Who?
Post Proteus Kitten.
No, but like you talk about the Marshal?
Oh yeah, for the Marshal.
Yeah, the Marshal is. People thought it was like really bad in the beginning, but when people started playing him more and more.
From 0 to 0 or from 0 to hero?
Yeah, and a lot of people are.
Why he's not good?
They say he's not good. Also, Justin, I know you can't see the chat, so that's why it's amazing that I swear to God, there's 2 other clones of you in chat going the exact same. The Admech community are all clones. I swear.
No, it's a
you're a big cog.
consciousness.
You're like one big cog.
Okay.
We're one big cog.
All right. So people are not agreeing with you saying he's a tournament standard.
What else we put up? Like, he's 35 points.
Exactly agreeing with him.
He's 35.
Really?
He's 35 points for a utility model.
Why? Because he was saying they're bad?
I think he was agreeing with what he was saying on how to use the Marshal.
Oh, okay.
It's just, dude, it's like clones. This is amazing.
They're clones.
I tell you,
They're a hive mind.
Admech is like, people have played enough Admech, like the 10 players in the world, that we just like.
No, you know
how to
why?
play
Admech is not good in general, but if you have to play them one way right now, or one way with a few tweaks. That's why it's like everybody's doing the same thing right now. But they will be good when their codex comes.
I think so.
I think they'll get some love.
Because so everything is like, the variants are very hard to find right now. It's just Breachers.
Yeah, because only one thing's really tournament standard for them.
Think about it like a dinner. You
There
have
is
the
one more
Breachers
list
as
now.
your core, and then you have like the sides. You can have Ironstriders, you have the chickens.
Well, chicken, you have to
Or
have
you could just take Dune Riders or Disintegrators and the Admech ones.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Let's move on to the next ones.
all right, so we have the Rangers now.
Okay.
These guys got a huge point decrease, going from 125 points to 80 points. No, 90 points actually. They got a really big points decrease and a toughness increase as well. Rather than being 5 and 6, which was before, now they're tough. They have 4+ armor save and a 5+ invulnerable. I'm seeing lists now where they're spamming these with the Dune Riders.
Oh god.
The Dune Riders are just fantastic with them.
Yeah, they would be. You just move around the board.
Don't underestimate Scout 6. A lot of people forget about it, but if you're keeping these guys on foot, move your Scout 6. If you got a Dune Rider, be aggressive with that thing. 80 points with these guys inside,
Yeah.
because that's a Dune Rider cost. You get to move 6 inches up for free turn 1.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to take pot shots into your Dune Rider, if you don't get first turn and you take the Protector Doctrine, you're hitting on this thing at -1 because you're in your call. This thing's toughness 9, like the tank itself is toughness 9, so you're winning it on 5s or 4s or 3s, whatever it is you're shooting into them.
Yeah.
but you still get a save, and you're worsening the AP by 1. And if you most likely will get cover 2. So this tank will survive.
These are Rangers?
Rangers, but I'm just talking about the Dune Rider as well. They do come with some cheeky weapons. You can take the space, the Arquebus, which is the space sniper rifle.
They're also a cheap unit, like 2 OC. You need them. You need something to hold objectives.
They also
right?
have sticky objectives.
They have sticky. So I mean, these are really worth it.
They are up there.
Tournament?
Yeah. I think I didn't realize this, but I thought I'd be putting more stuff in. Like,
where do you have them ahead of Cawl?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next guys.
There. These are the Vanguard.
Vanguard.
Cheaper, a little bit cheaper, 80 points a model.
Better weapons?
You don't take them for weapons.
You take them for what?
You take them for bodies.
Just have extra bodies.
You take them for the Breachers.
Yeah.
And
throw them in boats?
You throw them in D-Day Landers. You just throw them in Dune Riders and call it a day.
That's it?
Both these guys.
Strong?
These guys.
You need bodies. You can't just be all Breachers and stuff, right?
I think these guys are strong. They're not as good as Rangers. I would put them in tournament standard, but I think it's filling up too much.
No. If it's good, it's good. I mean, do you need both varieties of them?
One's 10 points cheaper. And when you play an army like Admech, you need to start shaving down points.
So why even take Rangers at that point?
Rangers have Scout 6.
Oh, that's why.
But you're paying 10 points more, while these guys are 10 points less. But they come with, they also subtract 1 to the OC when they're near an enemy unit.
That's pretty good. I didn't know that.
The reason why they're in tournament standard for both of these units is because you need them. You need to have Skitarii. You need the battle line. You need it. Because your whole entire army synergizes around them.
Exactly.
It's your flavors will vary. If you want a shooting anti-infantry unit, which is what the Vanguard are, go for it. But you take them because they're cheaper. If you take like 6 squads of Rangers, you could have taken 6 squads of Vanguard instead and save yourself 60 points for something else.
Yep. All right, let's go into the Scorpius Disintegrator.
Before you go too deep into that, can you give a quick defense of Rad Cohort? There's a little fight about it.
Okay. Rad Cohort looks really bad on paper because it does not synergize with your army. However, it is a very good tool to make your opponent think they have a sense of security. You don't think that. So the way the Rad Cohort works.
Are you talking about the
detachment ability?
It's giving space radiation?
Yes. Your opponent has to decide what takes battle shock. It's not even just you make a test. You are immediately battle shocked until the next battle round.
You have no choice.
Mortal wounds on 3+.
Yeah.
Most people are cheeky enough to be like, oh, I'm just going to battle shock my whole army because if I'm playing a knight, Imperial Knight army, and I suffered 3 mortal wounds off the bat beginning of the game, that's like what, 80 points and 90 points of damage already taken?
Yep.
It doesn't come into play much if you're playing against someone who has repairs, or if you're playing against sisters, you're just giving them free abilities, or even Necrons, just like the animating.
Yeah.
But you have to take these tests before you draw objectives. Yeah. If you are being cocky and your army is based all around secondaries, and you draw the ones that require you to engage on fronts, or like an action that requires you not to be battle shocked, you completely deny your opponent a whole entire turn of secondaries.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, they can't do anything about it. They also cannot do stratagems on those units that are battle shocked. So if your opponent wants to be like, oh, I just took battle shock, I didn't take any mortal wounds.
Just take the D3 mortal wounds.
I'm going to move. Imagine this situation. I'm going to move my tank in the middle objective. I'm so confident that it's not going to die. I have chickens in the back that are going to shoot you, and all of a sudden I roll like 3 6s, and you have to take 3 saves at AP -3.
Is anybody that scared of moving out of their battle for just taking battle shock the first turn?
You can't take stratagems after that.
For one turn.
Yes, but if I get lucky and you roll unlucky, you're taking damage. And at that point, you even know, like sometimes you're like, is that the last amount of shots? I'm going to CP roll that to try to save him.
Yeah.
That 1 extra damage or not being able to like CP roll a save can mean a unit surviving or a unit dying. And you have nothing to do against it. You are stuck. You have put the nail in the coffin. You are being put down in your grave. No questions asked.
You're getting down.
Until turn 2.
So tune in tomorrow where Justin plays his Admech versus my Eldar.
Okay, I'm not playing that. We've already seen that.
All right, let's go to the next one. Let's move on. We're almost done.
Questions with the Rad Cohort.
Disintegrator.
I would put it in situational. It's not that good.
For what reasons? Abilities. Let's check out the abilities. Each time this model makes an attack with its Belarus energy cannon, that target an infantry unit, add 1 to the hit roll. Each time this model makes an attack with the other, which one is that?
This is the
Thermite cannon. That targets a monster or vehicle unit, add 1 to the hit roll. So it's adding 1 to the hit roll for both. How much damage does that weapon do?
D6 plus 1.
Not bad.
So
no, D6.
D6. It's not D6 plus 1?
No, it's just D6.
Okay. So the reason why I don't say it's too strong is It is 180 points. It's paying the tax for the anti-infantry gun, the artillery one. If it were the point cost were a little bit less, like maybe like 10 or 20 points less, I would be on this in a heartbeat.
It's got indirect on the energy cannon though. It's strength 7, AP -2, 1 damage, indirect fire, blast, 2d6.
I don't think that's good.
No? 36 inches indirect?
Okay.
Hitting on 4s though, that's the only thing. It's Admech.
You're hitting on 4s, it's strength 7, and you're mostly going to get indirect fire penalty, so -1 to the AP.
So hitting on 5s, that's the only thing. It's not Space Marines or anything.
Yeah, you're basically, your opponent's going to get like AP -1 at most.
Yeah.
You can clear chaff with it, but now you're using a battle tank profile to kill chaff.
How do Space Marines get their tech, what do they call their tech Marines to give +1 ballistic skill, but you guys are supposed to be like the tech priests of the Imperium, or sorry, of the galaxy there, and you can't even get +1 to your big units getting +1.
Because apparently all our tech priests lost ability to repair. Only the engines here can repair.
Really?
So once again, let's go back to this. It comes with a lot
Hitting
of guns.
on 5s indirect is not good, never mind.
It comes with a lot of guns. If I can take the Ferromite cannon and stick it with it as a mid-range battle tank, because it does come with toughness 10 with I think 11 wounds and a 2-up save, which is impressive for the stat line it has.
It's not bad.
It just, I think it's a little bit too expensive for what it is. I would put it in like situational top. I know that if in case it gets a little bit of a point decrease, I would probably take a lot more of these, but it just overall right now, I think it's too expensive.
Yeah, and here's your, do I have to say anything or do I put it up here?
Dedicated transports all the way. Like don't say nothing about it. Dedicated transports are just too
How many are you taking of these though?
I take 2. One for each.
Really?
One for each Skitarii squad.
Skitarii.
One for each Skitarii squad. The Rangers give it Scout, so I can all of a sudden get extra movement at the beginning of the game.
Correct.
The other one just has Vanguard to protect them from like shooting and also protect the Marshal. These guys are really good in terms of anti-infantry. If you want anti-infantry, these guys have 18 shots within 18-inch range.
Wow.
If you sit still with them, they're hitting on 3s with lots of stubbers with sustained hits 1.
Wow.
Like people just are like ignore these, and then all of a sudden they get 18 shots into them. These are the consequences of my actions.
The extra 6-inch movement on Scout is really nice, and you have a nice unit in there. And you said there's some abilities you can come out and do things.
These guys
worth it.
Can advance with the transport and then disembark, but that unit counts as having moved and cannot advance or charge afterwards.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a very powerful ability. If you want to use like the Sulfur Hounds, and this is what you want to do with them, or if you want to just like have breachers.
All right.
Upfield.
I believe you because I've seen you do it and it works. Chickens.
I don't think these. I think
taser chickens. Don't tase me.
These guys are very strong.
I mean, advancing and charging is really nice. Like I've seen you do that a couple times.
This is with the caveat of you being in the Conqueror Doctrine, which when I'm playing Admech, I'm always in Conqueror. Heavy Doctrine is only when I'm already having the midfield. I can just sit there and camp.
Yeah.
But these guys here are very good with that. Advancing and charging with chickens.
Yeah.
I always keep one chicken on my backfield to do investigate signals or just hold the objective.
Yep.
They come with stealth base, meaning that's toughness 7 with 7 wounds and stealth with 3+ save and 5+ invuln. Hard to remove.
Correct.
In melee combat, you want to tie things up that are weaker than you. Yep. And then if you target something that is stronger than you, you most likely will survive with like 1 wound left on a chicken or maybe 1 chicken dies. And you want to just keep bouncing back out and going back into combat somewhere else.
Yeah, and they have sustained, right?
Sustained hits 2 on the on the lance.
I think they're very strong.
Yeah, I don't know if they're tournament standard because people would rather take more Sydonian, more Ballistarii than they do these Sydonian Dragoons.
You have these guys up here?
Yeah.
I'm honestly shocked by that because usually you love your taser chickens so much, and you didn't like the shooting ones too much before.
But now I love them.
Wow.
The reason why I love the Sydonian Dragoons and the Ballistarii first, is because they're mandatory.
Yeah.
Like some people just take 9 squads of these. 9 chickens in total for the Ballistarii. The Sydonian Dragoons are more of a melee harassment threat, which you can easily do with something such as the horses, like those horses guys, the Cerberus Raiders.
Yeah.
Or if you want, you can just use the boats. Like there are other ways to use tankier things for a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, I agree.
And your whole army comes with stealth anyways if you're around call. So these chickens are more of just going far up and just being harassment units.
What about call? All right, is this the
Techno-Archaeologist.
Techno-Archaeologist, okay.
Now we're getting to the rest of the HQ choices.
What does he do? What's his abilities? While this model is leading a unit, add 1 to the objective control characteristic, models in that unit, and then he has cognitive instincts. Enemy unit that are set up on the battlefield as a reinforcement cannot be set up within 12 inches horizontally of this model. So, yeah, he has Infiltrator's deep strike ability.
That's
Very
only
nice.
for his model.
It's only his model. It's not as big as a 5-man unit, of course, but that's pretty nice to have in your backfield when you can like try to screen with one model. Being able to screen with one model, but how many points is he?
Like 50.
That is really good. I like that.
I don't like him.
I like out screening. I like screening, so you know the way I play.
I prefer, like, how many points is he?
Let me see, unit composition,
45?
45 points. Are you kidding me?
He's cheap.
That's a good choice.
I don't see him often.
Just screening alone, because if I want to play you with I'm thinking right now, if I play your list with the Breachers, when I'm playing my Death Guard, the first thing I'm trying to do is deep strike all my Death Shroud right behind you.
But here's the thing, though. My Ballistarii want to stay in the back line for like a good turn or two.
Yeah.
During the time that you are planning to like deep strike.
Oh, so you're saying by the time you move off there, you don't really care?
Yes, and you know how big the size of a Ballistarii are, like, or even the Sydonian Dragoons. They're like this big.
Yeah.
That covers way more range than that little guy there.
I know, but his is 12 inches.
But if you have all these guys just like keeping close,
the
turn
whole
1 or 2,
unit, yeah.
And remember, laser cannons have a 40-inch range, so I can just sit back there and still take pot shots first, and then move in afterwards once I know your deep strikes are in. I've had times where I can deny my opponent, like when I play tournaments, they can't do anything because my army is just so well kept. With the way the size of the bases are for the Sydonian Dragoons and the Ironstriders, you can really stretch them out to cover enough anti-deep strike zone. And that's like 100 points, and these guys have laser cannon shots.
Until you meet the Incarn.
Okay, the Incarn's exception, because I can't control what unit lives and what unit dies.
Bad choice?
I'd say he is like situational at most, bottom of situational. He's not, like in my opinion, like I know people will like the +1 OC, but your guys die to a stiff breeze, and what he can attach to, you probably don't want to spend more points to attach into Skitarii.
45 points, even though it's cheap, you're not going to be giving that Skitarii that.
What's up?
What's the joke? Let's hear it.
Okay.
So you're talking about the base plate size, right? And how far it goes. Well, one person says 3 of them are standard for them, like always 3. And then next, it's not about the inches, it's how you use it.
Very true.
Exactly.
It's not the motion, it's the ocean. I don't remember that saying.
Okay, this is not what I was expecting when I was looking over for this.
Like I can show, like what I'll do is I'll get you one of my chickens, and I can put my Techno-Archaeologist, a 40mm base compared to like a 102 by 72mm base oval. I think that basically covers way more.
12 inches?
Yeah.
Outside of 12.
Yeah, remember, anti-deep strike is 9 inches, right?
3 units, yeah. But like they said in the comments, it's not how many inches, it's how you use it.
Yeah. Or it's how many you have.
How many you have, yeah. Whoa. Okay. Okay, Priest, let's go. Tech Priest Dominus.
He's way up there.
Yeah, he's good.
So what he does, gives a 5+ invulnerable save to anyone he's attached to. Attach him to Breachers. Now you have a unit that has a 5+ invulnerable
Is there anybody else you would attach him to?
You can attach him to the Electro-priests, and you can give those guys some very good like a 4+ Feel No Pain. You can turn that unit of
Destroyers as well.
Destroyers are okay. I would rather put the Destroyers with the Manipulus to get lethal hits on them.
That's true.
But this guy here is you take him for the tanky brick of Breachers or your tanky brick of Electro-priests.
Absolutely.
4+ invulnerable save on toughness 3 with -1 wound, 1 wound each. It can survive a lot.
I'd rather put that on a toughness 7 chassis.
Yes. But my favorite way to run him is you take the Sterilizer. I know this is going to be a contentious fight, but
stronger or a tournament? What do you say?
He's tournament. Like both tech
Really?
pieces.
Where? Ahead of Cawl?
Yeah.
Is he more important than Cawl?
He makes Breachers good.
Well, because you run so many Breachers, yeah.
Like imagine this. Imagine your Breachers come out of nowhere from reserve. All of a sudden they have a dominance with them with the Sterilizer, and they're just so unbearably tanky to get rid of.
You really think the Marshal's a tournament standard?
I think he's really up there.
Really?
35 points and a 10-point upgrade to just be able to do this stuff.
Okay.
If someone wants to comment about that, let me know. Tell Anthony right now.
P.O.
I
Box,
will argue about it.
JustinDrinksOil.com. Okay. So, yeah, keep going on with the Priest, giving them a 4-up invulns, beautiful.
No, not 4+ invuln. 5+ Feel No Pain.
5 up, okay.
The reason, and then you give him the Omni Sterilizer.
Yep.
And now you have a brick of Breachers to get through, and he's got the Sterilizer.
He gives a 4+ to those guys because they already have a 5+ Feel No Pain.
That's, okay. On Breachers,
The priest, because they have a 5-up Feel No Pain already, he makes it a 4-up.
Yes.
Now I get it, okay.
But with these guys with Breachers, unbearably tanky to get rid of. They have the Sterilizer on them, on the Volkite.
Here's the front.
it applies to every single weapon that has range. So
Yeah.
even his little Phosphorus Serpenta gets 3 extra shots with anti-infantry 2+,
Very nice.
anti-vehicle, anti-monster 4+. I keep getting those mixed up. But just having that 6-shot Volkite that hits on 3s with full rerolls if you're with a Breacher squad, and then it's anti-infantry 2+ with dev wounds.
Ooh.
That's what deletes Terminators.
Okay.
You can delete, 4 Terminators in 1 round of shooting with just the Dominus. And he makes up his points already for that.
That is pretty damn good. I'm not going to lie about that. Anthony? He's going outside. Don't know what's going on.
Okay, next we have the Engine Seer.
Engine Seer, Tech Priest Engine Seer.
You want to take him with a vehicle heavy army, which I don't think is what you want to do right now with Admech. I would say he right now would be in. What's up? Oh. I checked out, for me, the Tech Priest is not a real important aspect of the army. He gives a 4+ invulnerable save to one of the vehicles that he targets, but you're very limited in options. Your Onager Dunecrawler already has a 4+ invulnerable save. Do you really need to give it to your Scorpius Disintegrator if you do take it, when it already has a 2+ save base? And if you already get benefits cover, you need at least AP4 to actually get a 5+ on it. He does repair on a D3, but I would rather use all my tools right out of the bat and just push them to the limit, rather than having to stay back and be repairing. Those 45 or whatever points the Tech Priest Engine Seer costs can go to way better things. I would say for this guy here, he's situational at best.
All right. Proteus says, fishing for dev wounds. Got it.
Yeah, just fish for death wounds. That's on the Sterilizer, yes.
So this guy is strong?
No, he's situational.
Situational. Okay.
He's not that.
Where do you want him in situation? Is he?
He's put him beside the Techno-Archaeologist.
Really?
Once again, the way I play more aggressively, and with how tanky Admech is, every single casualty you take will hurt, but your opponent's not going to deal enough casualties for you to overwhelm them with shots.
Yep. And
Manipulus,
now one of your favorite, the Manipulus.
Can I put him in Tournament Standard, or should I just put him somewhere else? He's way too good.
Oh my God! Is this the guy you take the Sterilizer on?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is the guy that most people take the Sterilizer on. Someone mentioned the Sterilizer guy on the Manipulus with his transonic cannon.
Yep.
That is a good strategy to do, but I would prefer to have him with a Breacher squad with lethal hits and sustained hits 1, in which that's how you're going to get 10 hits in 24 shots in Overwatch with the Breachers.
Yeah, that is much better.
Going from you get 24 shots with Overwatch hitting on 6s, and you get 10 shots connecting.
So who do you put the Omni Sterilizer on?
The Dominus.
The Dominus.
The Dominus has a 24-inch range Volkite.
That's this guy?
Yes, that's the one with the axe.
Okay. They all look the same to me. I'm sorry, you're all robots.
Yeah, the Flamer is really good.
You're muted.
It's D6 plus 3 tax. The only thing I would say is he is going to be hard to transport with. You're going to have to dedicate probably a Dune Rider to them, or maybe come from reserve. Yeah. But if you do that, you're going to get Overwatch to death.
So he's up here, I would put him beside here, right? Yeah. Especially if you're running Breachers, which a lot of people are. This is a combo that is disgusting. You're getting sustained hits, lethal hits as well.
Yep.
And you can use that strat where you can do this in Overwatch. I'm sorry, you can shoot after being shot.
Yep.
And overwatching is ridiculous because you're getting so many shots. Yeah, I'm definitely liking that. And then you're giving them a 5-up, feel no pain on top of all of that.
No, if you do that, if you put the Manipulus,
you can only choose one or the other?
Yes. The
so
Dominus,
one unit can get it, and the other one can get this.
That's my strategy. 2 units of this is NKG coaching right now. If you're playing Admech here, 2 squads of Breachers. The Dominus here has the Omni Sterilizer. He's the tanky unit because if you want the Sterilizer to be used, you don't care about the rest of the Breachers. He's just there by himself with the Sterilizer. The other unit is the one that actually kills, where the Breachers have lethal hits and sustained hits 1.
Yeah, that's your go-to guys.
If you ever play against a list like this, pray God that you choose your targets wisely. You need to focus down 1 squad of Breachers immediately. The one with the Manipulus has a 4+ invulnerable save once per game, which means that you now have to kill these guys with a 4+ invulnerable save. They don't have a feel no pain though, so it makes it easier for you to kill.
We got, I can't read that name, Anthony. Can you read it out? The last comment. What's the name?
I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong.
Say it. Just say it.
Aderism?
Aderism, saying you got to choose between lethals and the sustained.
And sustain.
No, you don't. The relic, it's
Let's read
enhancement. The enhancement gives you sustain
Read
hits
it,
1.
Justin. Read it. You're being called out. We should have a called out music. Come on, like.
Can we have a called out cam?
Called
That
out
close up
cam.
cam.
It's right
So
here.
while a model is leading a unit, ranged weapons equipped by this unit have sustain hits 1. That's the relic, the Master Annihilator. The Tech Priest Manipulus. As long as he's leading a unit, it gets sustain hits 1, lethal hits.
He corrected himself with the Feel No Pain.
Oh,
He's like,
Feel No
"Oops,
Pain."
Feel No Pain.
Yeah,
for-
you can only have one of each.
You can only
yeah.
choose either Dominus, which gives the Feel No Pain
Yeah,
5 plus,
so one in
or
each.
lethal hits with the Manipulus.
Correct.
But-
One goes in one unit, one goes in the other breacher unit.
The best way to get rid of something like this, the situation with Breachers, you need to kill the Skitarii and just blast them out of the way.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I go for always with my indirect fire. I'm just like, buy Skitarii,
you
no
gotta
more
kill the Skitarii
rerolls.
right away. If you want to be ballsy and you have wasted precision or just kill characters,
Yeah.
get in combat with the Breacher squad immediately. Precision yourself. Epic challenge, kill that Tech Priest, because after that, the unit will sort of like die out.
Yeah.
When I played against an Eldar guy
Death
in game
Jester.
3, Death Jester sniped out my Manipulus turn 1.
Exactly. And people say, oh, don't take Death Jesters, they're too expensive now. Hell no, they're still really good.
But now that unit, which could have killed like almost 500, 600 points worth of Eldar, just died. I don't
Yeah.
get lethal hits and sustain hits 1 now. I
Nope.
do get full rerolls because I'm your Skitarii unit, but
Yes,
the unit
sir.
really suffers in damage from that.
Correct.
Yeah, that's
There
it.
you go. It looks kind of, that's more balanced than I thought, actually. And there's a lot of tournament standard, I guess.
Well, a lot of them are just characters. Like everyone up there is mainly, like you got 3 support characters there.
Yeah.
Everything else is like Skitarii, which are only there to benefit the Breachers. You'll see a pattern here.
Pretty much
Everything
what I
is just
expected.
being fed to the Breachers.
Pretty much what I expected. Chickens and breachers at the top. Nepotism.
I would put
Those are your children.
the Sydonian Dragoons up there, but once again, I choose way more Ballistarii than I do with Sydonian Dragoons.
You have 21 of them, so
And I have a lot more of the laser chickens and auto chickens.
so maybe a third unit of breachers?
I don't need 3 more. I don't need 6 more. I think 2 is enough. You need to have something to stall your opponent
Yeah.
and give your opponent choices.
Get some of these doggos.
The dogs I would try out. Like they are very like potent.
Yeah.
Whether they be just a utility unit, which I think they're probably one of the best for
Who
the
they
point
be.
cost. And then the Sulfur Hounds are just ridiculous with the mortal wounds they can put out.
Yeah, I agree.
You're starting to see a lot more Skitarii spam and Dune Rider spam because of how cheap they are and how durable they can be. 5+ invulnerable save, even on a toughness 3 chassis, is crazy.
That's nuts.
For 80 points.
Yep.
I hope this didn't make too many people mauled because it was a fun tier list. I would just go on about Admech. One day I'll teach you guys about the chicken tech.
The chicken tech.
Yeah, this is my secret technique, okay? Don't tell anybody else.
Okay, go. Now you have to talk about
I'm
it.
not talking about the chicken tech. It's top secret.
It's top secret?
It's top secret.
It's called the chicken tech?
Yeah, chicken tech.
Okay.
Can we call you the Colonel?
Yeah, I'm Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Tack. All right, that's it. That's the ranking. Anything you want to move around here before we go? Or are you happy with the way it looks?
I'm happy with the way it is. I have a bias, of course, to the Sydonian Dragoons. They're my favorite unit in the Codex.
Dragoons?
But I'll just keep them there. If anything, I don't know. I'm happy with where it is. I would probably move
Which one are the Dragoons? Sorry.
Dragoons are the ones, the laser chickens.
Oh,
the ones with auto
they're number 2.
They're really strong.
You think they're number 1?
No, Breachers are number 1. Until they nerf Breachers, they're number 1.
So what did you say you don't like where they are?
No, I would move the taser ones up.
Oh,
But
up,
I'm
okay.
happy with where the tasers are because you don't necessarily need taser chickens. When you have the dog riders, you have more Dune riders, but you need Ballistarii because they're the ones that have the anti-tank.
Yeah.
And they're the ones with the long-range anti-tank when your 36-inch power fists, which are the heavy arc rifles, can't reach.
Yep. I agree. But that's it. That's the ranking. Honestly, I like Admech. I saw you playing them in the tournament. I think they have some bad matchups that can really screw you up, especially Eldar. But besides that, I think you give a lot of people trouble, and a lot of people are not playing Admech right now. So you kind of mess up the meta when you get in there and you're like, wait a second, I can't handle this right now. I'm built to like be beating Eldar, and I'm built to be beating like Votann and like spamming a lot of units. And these guys come at you with anti-vehicle 4+, and sterilizers that do 16 mortal wounds, and you're kind of screwed back there.
Yeah, this army does require some finesse and
Yeah.
play. Start by being aggressive, but you got to be cautious of your opponent's ranges.
Yeah.
Do pre-measuring, just learn what your opponent was going to like charge into you
Yeah,
with.
and I do like the scout with the dogs. Now, I think that's something you're missing is like a lot of screening.
Yeah.
Because we can come straight for you, right?
But the thing with that is, if you do want to come at me. Come at me,
bro.
I got Overwatch, I got Breachers, I got Chickens,
There's a
I
lot
got
of shooting.
Taser Chickens. It's gonna be a bloodbath, and if you're in the middle of the board, you're actually playing into my hands. Because with the Protector Doctrine, I'm hitting at +1.
Even Wraithguard? I can play that game with you with Wraithguard.
Okay, anything but Wraithguard. Anything but Wraith Knights.
I shoot you, you shoot me, then you shoot me and I shoot you back.
Oh man, I'll tell you this. When I played against an Eldar, the tournament before this one, I played against an Eldar guy. I was like, okay, I got 5 of these Breachers shooting into a Wraithguard unit in the middle. Oh, I'm -1 to my AP because they're in cover, so they got 4+ save, 3+ save, isn't it?
What, 2+?
2+ save base becomes 3+ because of AP1.
AP1 and cover if
Well,
they have
that
it.
counts as the covers already
It's 10th
included there.
edition, everybody gets covered.
So I do like 8 or 9 wounds to them. They say 4 or 5.
-2, yeah.
Even if it's a 3 flat damage weapon, he loses like 4 guys. And guess what? I'm gonna shoot you back.
Straight, yeah.
I'm gonna shoot you back with Wraith Cannons. Each one's like D6 damage. He kept rolling 5s or 6s. I can't feel no pain that, and I'm just dead.
Hold on. If Breachers shoot into a Wraithguard unit, okay, you shoot them, then the Wraithguard shoot you back with their ability. Can you pop your stratagem to shoot me back again?
Whatever is alive, if you think it's worth it.
I don't think so.
No,
It
you
probably
can't.
specifies
It does,
opponent
no.
shooting phase.
It's on shooting phase.
And just real quick,
Yeah.
good luck to Andorism for his 90+ tournament. He's bringing Admech on the weekend.
Yeah, Admech player, go for
And
it.
so good luck to him.
Good luck.
And the other person asked,
His
what
first
do you-
tournament?
I don't know if it's first. Just he's bringing Admech to a 90+
Oh, 90+, nice.
Nice. Good luck.
And
Good luck, man.
what was it? What do you feel about a Dune Rider in reserves?
Dune Rider in reserve. I think you sort of do need the presence on the board already with the Dune Riders just being there. I don't think it's worthwhile to do that. Like, what are you putting into it? Are you putting in Tech Priests or Electro-priests? I don't think it's really worthwhile. I'd rather have it on the board to have the 18 shots early on. They're already durable enough and cheap enough that you really don't need to care if they suffer like heavy damage.
Yeah.
Another thing that I learned is they don't suffer any hit penalties when they get wounded.
Right.
So if they go down to 1 wound, you're still hitting on 3's base if
There's
you're
no
in Heavy
tearing.
Doctrine.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are just durable. Don't put those guys in reserve. I would put something cheaper and more annoying, such as the Sydonian Dragoons or a Ballistarii unit, or even better yet, like a 3-man Breacher squad or Destroyer squad.
Yeah.
Like, there are other options. The Dune Riders does not bring enough to the table to even warrant being in reserve.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, you buy an 80-point box, you want to use that box to defend yourself.
Yeah, like get them out there and they have good movement. The Dune Rider, are you talking about this guy?
Nope, the D-Day Lander.
Oh, the D-Day Lander, yeah. You definitely want that on the floor. And
Yeah.
Don't you get your Scout 6 if you put your thing inside
Yep,
them?
if you have Rangers
So
in there,
much
Scout
movement.
6.
You don't really need it, I don't think either. But yeah, you could try things out. It depends who you're playing, I guess.
All right, that's good.
That's the end of the tier ranking. If you want to see Justin playing his Admech list, you want to play them on live stream coming up?
But we have our battle report with Guard versus Admech,
Yes.
which is a banger, by the way, because you'll see the transonic cannon, the sterilizer guy.
Anthony,
I named
put
him,
the link right here.
Yeah, I named him Steve because he sterilizes.
Yeah.
He is like, it's a very epic battle. Watch it because that was like, I think pre-data sheet.
Yes.
But it was fantastic. It's fun. I want to play more Admech. I think we also did one at turn of the data sheet against your Eldar versus my Admech.
Yes.
In which it was like brutal, but you saw how many chickens I can take. That was just chicken farm, like free roam chicken list.
Chicken farming.
Also, I think we're doing tactical timeouts very soon.
Yeah, we're starting to add. We're going to add back our tactical timeouts now for 10th edition. We're starting with Space Marines, obviously, because Space Marines are coming out and they're the poster boys. So we got to give the poster boys some love.
Yep.
So we're going to be doing a overall codex review this coming up this week, and then we're going to be doing a detachments review on each detachment. First of all, before we go any further, we had a meeting yesterday, and we were talking and we were discussing the upcoming month and what we're doing.
Yep.
And Anthony and I got into a debate where he just wouldn't let go that he's calling everything by what the lore of it goes. So he's like calling it the Ultramarine detachment. I'm like, stop calling it the Ultramarine detachment. It's the Gladius or whatever. It's Vanguard detachment. So we had the whole argument was do we post it on YouTube as the Vanguard detachment review, or do we call it the Raven Guard detachment for like better reach on YouTube's algorithm? I'm just like, nobody's gonna know what the Raven Guard detachment is. You guys answer that for me, please. Would you rather see
It's nomenclature. It's the
I know what it is.
name.
No, why are you using nomenclature? Are we in like chemistry right now?
Okay, no, that's not chemistry. What?
Nomenclature is used in like chemistry, you know?
It's used for like common language.
What is it?
Yeah.
I only know nomenclature during chemistry, but I
My sister knows like
digress.
6 languages and told me this.
I digress. Go ahead.
You go with the common name that's more recognizable, that people know.
Yeah, but people are reading the codex, they're gonna be like, what the hell is a Raven Guard detachment?
But I even proved it after when I just asked, I went in a random server and said, what's the Imperial Fist attachment? And someone gave me the exact answer of it gives heavy and +1 to wound if you already had heavy.
So if you liked Anthony on the channel, he's gonna be gone after this. Anyways, no. Yeah, but anyways, we're doing that, and we're gonna be going into, maybe we can do Admech.
Well, the codex is coming in winter.
December?
Hopefully December, or
I think
hopefully
it's
November.
December.
But it's gonna be a resurgence. If you want to see more Admech content, put it in the comments because these guys won't let me do Admech. Nah, just joking.
Thank you to everyone who joined.
I can't wait till the codex drops down. We're gonna have like go from 10 players to like 15 players.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be like almost like 1.5 times the population of Admech players, and I'm gonna be happy. I'll happily teach you guys how to play the chicken tech when it comes time.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for everybody in the chat. We appreciate your comments, and we appreciate you coming out. Yeah, this is Northern Knights Gaming. We're gonna be hopefully streaming tomorrow. We're gonna be. You want to play Admech tomorrow?
I don't mind.
Let's play Admech. Let's get Admech out here. You did the review.
Don't bring the Eldar.
No Eldar. No Eldar.
Or if you bring the Eldar, bring like no Wraithguard.
No Wraithguard. Okay.
Go Aspect Warriors.
Oh my God. Am I talking to Rami over here?
I'll bring like a 21 chicken list, and we just like chickens versus Aspect Warriors.
Chickens versus Wraith Knights.
Oh my God, no. But anyways.
Yeah, but it was a good one. Thanks for joining us. We're Northern Knights Gaming. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and ring Anthony's bell. He, I don't know, it turns him on or something.
At least tell them to ring the actual.